We're in today with Matrox Parhelia. This video card has 128 megabytes and is running with 400 megahertz on the core. That's it, that's all I know. Let's jump in a couple of games and let's see how this system is working. Okay, so first off, I need to jump into Underground 1 because I want to show you 1 and 2, how it's working. It's kind of funny, you know? So this is the lowest resolution, 640, with low details because apparently there is some conflict in it and the MS is not quite good, you know? Let's jump in and let me show you how it's running with lowest details. First off, I got 60 FPS nearly on top of it, and this is very important because the moment I put some details, it's got low details, medium and high details. The moment I put some details, it just lags, and 640 is the lowest one. And sometimes it works with 60 FPS and sometimes it works with 30 FPS. Now on 30 FPS, it feels like a console, and I'm not joking, it's like it's okay to play with 30 FPS, but I would rather have a controller instead of actually having a keyboard and mouse. But if I want keyboard and mouse and I want to play on a PC, I want 60 FPS. So I don't want any, how shall I say, bad MS on this end, you know. So in some situations, you can see it drops to 30 FPS, but that's it. No VRAM is loaded apparently. In this situation, the CPU it's kind of good, like 50% load. Doesn't go higher, 53 maximum in some situation, but the system RAM is barely reaching 600 megabytes. I'm just thinking how the performance will be with a quad core in this situation. I'm just imagining this game now in this situation having a quad core CPU. Now, if this Pentium D, you know, this dual core CPU, it's reaching 50% load. I'm just curious how a quad core will work. Not gonna lie, I like the performance from the system. It's not bad. It's not the best, you know, but it's doing the job. You know, the MS is okay. The GPU load, apparently I can see it, but I see that the FPS is nearly constant with that 16 ms and barely any load on the VRAM. All right, let's jump into Underground 2. The same 640 with low details. I want to see how it's running now here too. This is gonna be cool to see. 2 games on low detail. All right, this is fantastic. 85 FPS. See, this one is unlocked. This is what I need from this game. Imagine having that CRT with high refresh rate. This is the game that you need for this Matrox. I wish I had some average. Well, it stays over 60, so I'll consider 60 as an average for my situation. I don't have a minimals, but I do guide myself from that MS. If it stays under 20 ms, then I consider it a win. On this occasion with the CPU, I have nearly the same, you know. One core semi-loaded, second core nearly fully loaded, and stays around 50-53% load on the CPU. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just okay, you know. And comparing the system RAM used for this, apparently we got more system RAM use, nearly 700 megabytes. I think previously it was 500 and nearly to 600, and now I'm nearly to 700 megabytes of system RAM. And on the VRAM, next to nothing, seriously. That feels like it's using only software render, but it does use the VRAM because it's on low details and the core is bottlenecking. I can't increase the details. I tried it and it was horrible and it's not worth it. So having 50 FPS on average constantly with good MS, it's something that you will want. If we keep playing a racing game, I think it will be ideal to actually play FLATOUT and see how it's running with 640 on low details. Whoa, this map is very intensive on the texture. It's got like 30 FPS on average. Ow, ow, ow. I mean, it holds the game, you know, with 30 FPS, but the MS is over 30. And when the MS is bigger than the FPS, then something is wrong there. First position, I think I will break the car or smash it, or I'll destroy myself. Doesn't matter. I'm 40 now. I got 50 FPS because I'm not the last one. Feels like every time I'm in the back of the queue, I'm losing FPS. 800 megabytes of system RAM apparently in this case with this 60, 70. Actually, I seen even 70 something on the CPU. 70% load. That means he's using the CPU pretty good. I think this game can use a quad-core CPU, and then I think it will ease it up in such a way that the game will be more fluent. Harry Plunker. Let's try it and see how it's running with this Matrox, but I think I have a problem because in this situation I have the FPS, I got like 40 FPS, that is ideal for a game like this, you know. I can play the game with 40 FPS, 26 ms in my situation. And 100% the minimals and the 1% wouldn't be ideal with this configuration, but it's not that horrible, even though I think if I had a proper counter it will show me some horrible numbers. So with this video card we got how much load? Same 53% load on the CPU. Like one core is loaded more than the other, but it's balanced in between them. So in this situation we're only using 687 megabytes of system RAM, 700 megabytes of system RAM. 1 gig will suffice in this situation. Let's jump into Quake 3. Apparently this is one of those games that runs on this video card. I'm gonna see how it's running with 1024. I think it's on high details or something. Look at this. Oh yeah, the RPG. Give me the RPG. You dog have nothing on me. Oh my god, this game is running with 90 FPS and barely any load on the CPU. I mean, how are we doing? 50% load on the CPU, like every game that we played. And in this situation, I'm only using 650 megabytes of system RAM. Like all of them, they are equal. I'm actually surprised that on 1024 I get this FPS and only 11-15 ms on this. With the VRAM, I think there's a problem with the drivers, and I'm not gonna say nothing until I don't find a proper driver for this. Who knows, maybe I can find the original disc for it. I don't know. Drivers apparently is something that I will like to have. HELLGATE London, apparently on 1024. You see, 1024 with lowest details. Apparently we get 30 FPS. I like it, you know. It's not compared with the 9800 GX2, you know, hundreds of FPS, but this is an old video card, so I can't really complain about this. So having 1024, it's okay. The MS is still there. The frame time, yeah, I still think there is room for improvement in this situation. The details are kind of funky. I don't really like them overall. I wish I had better performance so I can increase the resolution and the details. I don't think it's gonna help, you know, so the driver is gonna help, but I think it will help in some situation like memory utilization. But it's working. It feels very snappy, feels very good, you know, and can't complain in this situation. Wish they made better drivers. I tried to go on their website to find a driver, but page not found. So what do you want me to do in this case? Find some alternative in order to install the drivers. Yet alone, Matrox doesn't care. So how can I succeed? Battlefield 1942. So 1024 with 16 bits. It's exactly the type of resolution that I can get in order to get the right FPS. Averaging 60 FPS here, it's kind of good. The MS is not that bad. I don't think the minimals and 1% is that bad because the frame time, the MS is kind of good here, 10-15. This is a good number if you're asking me. Wow, broke the plane. I didn't know I can break it like I pressed right click with the bomb and it dropped it from the plane before the whatever. I don't care. So even though the MS is on under 20, I think the whole configuration is good for this type of game, you know. It's so hard to actually hold the plane like this with the mouse. But I'm doing it. I'm flying. This is definitely a good video card for a retro build, but the only problem is the drivers. I think there's a problem with the drivers. That's it. I'm not saying nothing. I don't know if the video card is okay. I don't know if the drivers are bad. I don't know nothing. I think the compatibility it's not there when it comes to this video card. 128 megabytes of VRAM. I don't think so. But regardless, I'm just curious, what do you think about this Matrox? What do you think about the Matrox itself? Not only about this video card, about Matrox in general, because wish they were on the market, you know, to compete against AMD ATI. So what do you think about this Matrox?